Hi, welcome to On The Spot with OPPO, where we connect you with inspiring entrepreneurs and innovators making their mark. Here we are in Singapore with the launch event of the Find N5. And we are very honored to have here with us Mr. Neoma. Welcome to the show. On The Spot with OPPO.
The honor is mine. Really glad to be here.
We are Team White.
Yeah, I love white color.
Yeah.
Like black and white are the only two colors I can handle.
Yeah. Before we jump into your story, your insights, can you give us a quick introduction about yourself?
So I'm Neoma, Senior Director at AppLovin. So I started my career as engineer, and I pick up a lot of skill set along the way. I do business development, I do sales, I do product development, and I'm fortunate enough to do all these roles at AppLovin right now. Yes. So I definitely enjoy them all.
You've been using the Find N5 for a while.
Yep.
Like, this is your second day.
Yeah.
How are you liking it so far? Because I know you have like over 30 devices, so yeah. I definitely know you like tech.
Yeah, I like tech a lot because I try all the latest gadgets. And so funny story, yesterday I got this phone thanks to OPPO and Finders Club.
Yep.
And I always carry an iPhone,
Yep.
so I'm really trying to make the switch this time. I'm trying to like really just stick with this phone.
Yeah.
And because I'm still waiting for my eSIM, so I'm carrying like two phones all the time. I have two phones in my pocket. So yesterday when I went out with two phones, I remember like I have my iPhone in my left pocket, but when I took it out, it's like this phone. I'm like, because they're so similar, I'm not even using a Max. I'm using just a Pro, the small one, and it's very light.
Yes.
And I got mixed up so many times.
Yes.
Like I thought I'm taking out iPhone, but then come out it's this phone.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how light it is. I was really impressed. Yeah.
I can relate to that because for me, I have, working at a phone company, I have like, not 30 phones, but I have like 5 right now. But I only have 2 pockets,
Yeah.
So I usually bring I love camera, I love photography. You can check my Instagram, like Double D Dan. But I have the Find X7 Ultra, which is amazing to take like shots. And now the second device that I have is the Find N5. And usually before I had like a smart way to process the 2 phones. Yeah, I just randomly just try to tap. And then now this device is just like so thin that
it's so hard to.
It doesn't feel like affordable.
Not at all.
On my pocket, but now I have a system. Because I'm a right-hander, Find X7 Ultra is the phone for the camera. The good shots come, boom. Find X7 Ultra on the right and Find N5 on the left.
That's a good system.
That's a good system.
That's a good system. Yeah.
But thanks for sharing some of your initial impressions about the device. And I want to know more about you.
Sure.
So you shared a bit of your journey, but I want to know, how do you get started? What led you to where you are today? And later I want to, see what are some of the key milestones and defining moments of your career.
Actually I like to talk about failures a lot. I think if like looking back, thinking about my own career path, there were some failures that I still remember today. I think probably like the first one I'm gonna share is I think that's 10 to 15 years ago when I was still young, still trying to get a company like Meta, Google. So I went to Facebook at that point in time for interview, and I failed miserably. I think I failed it twice. The first time was like I can't even pass the coding interview. I didn't prepare for it, and then I prepared for it, and then I passed the round. I was invited to the office, but eventually I still failed it. I think I still remember the feedback they gave to me at that point in time. I received a call from HR. The HR was like nice enough to cushion the whole conversation, like it's all good. But then the bot comes and she said, the team felt that you are a little bit too overconfident. To me, I think that was a nice way of saying like, hey, you're just like an arrogant guy that people don't want to work with you. Yeah. So I think that was a wake up call to me when I was still young and I feel like I can do anything. I'm smart, right? Then, okay, that was the call. I realized, no, you're not that smart. Actually, there are so many smart guys out there.
Yeah.
And it taught me humility. So after that, I learned like to be a humble person. Like you are really just like somebody who's trying to make it, but there's so many smart guys out there.
Yes.
Humility is so important. So that was my first lesson. I think it's lucky that I learned that at a very young age. And the second was I did my own startup for 2 years. It was fun, but I was product guy. I was like engineer. I thought I can do all the codings because I know how to do backend APIs, front-end mobile applications. So I'm like, okay, I got this. I would just like close my door, build a perfect product and launch it. So I did that. I think that taught me, and that's how I got into sales, by the way. So I was not really a fan of sales because I didn't understand it back then, but then now I love it. So it taught me the importance of sales, of product market fit, of like building something like really carry a value to the end user instead of like just living your own mind. So that was my second failure. I think it also, it has a huge impact on my career.
Yes.
And then the last one, probably not a failure, but it's a big turning point, was 7 years ago. I joined this company called Branch. It's a Silicon Valley startup.
Yep.
That's
why you're a tech bro. Tech bro vibes.
Probably that's what, I pick up the vibe from the people around me. So I joined this company. I witnessed Branch raised a few $100 million to solve this one single problem.
Yep.
That was super interesting to me, and that's the place where I met the person who I joined later to start Array at AppLovin.
Yes.
So that was a very important turning point in my career too.
It's would you say the experience at Branch that's like the biggest turning point?
Yeah.
From bottom to top or top to bottom turning point?
I think that's a very good. It's actually not like it's not like there's no valley, there's no peak. I would say it broadens your worldview.
Yes.
Actually, now think about it. That was a very interesting time, because before Branch, I think what I was trying to do was to adapt into, because I was not born in Singapore.
Yes.
I'm Singaporean, but I was not born here.
Yep.
So before Branch, my whole worldview is to adapt into like local culture here.
Yes.
My view is like, Singapore, it's great in APAC, like SEA. So all my business before was we focus on SEA. It's not really about like North America, Europe. It's not that yet. After Branch, I felt, actually my value is to connect the East and the West, because I do have my like Chinese cultural background. I can resonate culturally with, the people from China, and I could connect with the people from the US too. And that's where, like, I think I always enjoy filling the gap, being it's between technology and business, because I do know coding, product, and I love doing sales too. And also I love to communicate with the people from the US or the Europe, or I have so many Chinese friends right now. I just enjoy like being that person who really understands as AI evolves. I think that's one of the key things it's actually addressing is communication, because I always think that communication is the one thing that stopping us from moving the fastest.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes if you're doing a great product but nobody knows.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you sometimes need to like have some promotions in your product.
And it's also
like go to market as well, right?
Exactly, and it's so hard to get the like to pass the message through. Like you speak with certain intent, but then people misunderstand it. They interpret it in a different way.
Definitely.
So
Definitely, and looking at your industry today, what excites you the most?
My industry definitely excites me a lot because it's growing so fast.
Yes.
But I do think it's not really about the industry. I do think it's like, for example, when I work, what excites me the most is the people that I'm working with. I think I'm just really, really blessed to be always like able to work with a group of people that I love working with.
Yes.
I think that's first for most important for me. And secondly, I think it's the problems. It's probably not too much about industry, just that I happen to be in this advertising industry where we do have a lot of interesting problems to solve. But the problem itself is the most important thing. So people, problem, I think those are the things that excite me.
Definitely. And since your company is, a NASDAQ listed company, and now everyone's talking about AI, how do you see, AI changing the world or the future in the next 5 to 10 years?
So I think AI is a buzzword that everyone's talking about today.
I was on Reddit, and there was like a toothpaste brand which says powered by AI.
Yeah.
Where's the AI to it?
Yeah. That's like I think everyone is trying to get into this.
Yep.
And to me, I think a lot of people use this analogy about like internet, like 20 years back, when there was no internet, and then you have internet, and now you can't really find a business without like a website or like an app. I think AI would be like that. I think probably even more prominent because AI is something. AI is tangible. Like it does help us gain productivity, efficiency. So I even think that AI is not like impacting any specific industry. It has a huge impact on every single industry.
Definitely.
It's gonna help you gain massive like productivity, efficiency. You're just able to build something better, like in a shorter amount of time, just faster, right?
Definitely. Yeah, because a lot of the work that it used to be like a team's work. Now I can just do it by myself, a one-man show. I just need to find the right tools to like offset the team effort. What are your views on that? Like, how does it shape the future of the labor market? Am I going to lose my job? Are they going to lose their jobs?
No, I think I think there are two points to it. One is I think I'm super excited about AI in general. Like the example that you used just now, you can do a one-man show. I think Sam Altman said that he's like just expecting a one-person unicorn company soon. And I do look forward to that day. And I hope that actually this guy probably is from AppLovin, because I do have a lot of people within AppLovin that's able to pull this off. And I resonate with that a lot because imagine in the past, in order to solve a problem, like you need to be able to do coding, and you need to talk to like engineer, and then you need to have like data analyst and who help you pull data, have a list of like hypotheses, and then you have to validate each one of them. Then you might need like a product manager, like project manage the launch and do a few iterations and trial and errors. With AI, like I think a lot of people can do that. Not only me, like with the right prompt, you get the code bug-free, you roll it out, you can upload CSV and give you all the hypotheses and insights. So it's definitely feasible to do it like just with one person.
Yes.
So that's definitely happening. And two, whether we are going to lose our job, I also don't think so, because I think I'm very optimistic about AI too.
Yes.
I do think it's a tool that would enable us. Like I remember this conversation from my early meeting. One of the early meetings is very interesting. So this guy used the analogy that this AI is like when you play a game, you have this legendary weapon in a game.
Yes.
And AI is like that weapon. You got to know how to use it and wield the weapon. Once you know it, you're like you are gonna be invincible, right? But if you don't know that weapon, then you're gonna be in a bad place. So I do think that's what matters. You got to know how to use it, and it will help you. It will make things faster and better. So so I'm super optimistic and excited about the future.
Yeah, so it's like putting a Ferrari, V12 engine in a
Exactly.
Corolla, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
You have a very good.
No, I think everyone
engine.
has potential to become a Ferrari as well.
Definitely. What do you think is AI's role in shaping human-driven innovation?
I love this question because I actually love music.
Yes.
I do a little bit of like music production on my own, like during my spare time. I find the influence. I definitely feel the influence of AI. I feel the impact of it. I'm able to make a beat a lot faster. But then in like doing this, I think there is one technique in music production called quantization. So it's about like when you play something, it's very easy for you to snap a note exactly on the beat. So you have this technology, even if you're not like the best player, like with one click, you can get everything on the beat. But the thing is, when all the notes is right on the beat, it just like sounds very weird. It sounds robotic to your ears. So usually a good producer would like bring a note, like every single note, like 20, 30 milliseconds before or after the beat so that it sounds natural. The thing is, like I use this analogy because a lot of people say, oh, is AI gonna replace human even in creativity? I definitely don't think so. There's no way they can do that. Why? It's because there is, like just now that beat example, like people don't like perfection. In Japanese culture, there's a concept called wabi-sabi. It's basically a search for beauty in impermanence, imperfection, nature. So it's about imperfection. It's like to our human eyes, ears, it's never about perfection. It's always about imperfection. So in that example, if like, AI can learn to make each beat 20, 30 milliseconds like before, after, but like everyone's different. That's why when we talk about creativity, arts, music, I do think you need that human touch. Like whatever you make, I think AI is gonna help you make that thing a lot more professional. Because if everything's off the beat, it just like sounds like so bad. It's not professional.
And everything's gonna sound the same if it's on the beat.
Exactly.
Perfect music.
If everything's perfect, it's perfect. But why we love something is because of that human touch, and it's to make it imperfect.
Yeah, and something is unique. If everything sounds the same, I'm gonna like the thing that's gonna be different, right?
Yeah, so I think that's because I think Charlie Puth is working with YouTube on something, because I think AI is powerful enough to make like the next Charlie Puth song, because just listen enough. Like I know your pattern, I know like your because
consumer behavior.
Yeah, they can understand one individual, but I believe that AI won't be able to make the next Charlie Puth, because he is him because of all his imperfections, not because how professional, how perfect he is. It's because how imperfect he is.
It's an interesting way to see it, and I didn't know you're a music producer.
I always love music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What can't you do?
What? I can't do so many things.
So yeah, I mean, you self-taught yourself.
Yeah, I'm bad with numbers. I'm bad with colors. I don't know how to paint, which is why I only...
Is this black or white?
Oh, that's white.
Good one.
Yeah, I love this white color. It's really special though. It's like, I don't know, like a pearl, like a seashell kind of. Yeah, I love this.
Okay, now you're caseless. I'm with the case. You can feel it. You know there's a case, right?
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
In the box. Okay.
Yeah, and it's very special. It's like only half, right?
It's like it's like half.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a hinge protector as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay, now you talk about foldables. You know, how do you think this is going to integrate into your professional and personal workflows? Because I know you are very icky with your work setup, right? You have a laptop and then you have like two monitors, whatnot.
Yeah.
How do you think this is gonna fit in?
I think first of all, it's going to like fit in perfectly. I always yearn to have something more powerful. Like when choose between, for example, like the Pro and the Max analogy, I go for Pro because it's light.
Yep.
And I think this has the portability.
Yep.
This is as light, as thin, but then it's like I have something better than iPad mini in my pocket. Especially now, like I do everything with AI. Like I can't work without like AI window open. This extra like screen space is gonna help so much. If I'm reading something, if I'm like writing a document, reading some numbers, I can always have like a window open there. That's gonna help so much. I think like moving forward, I do think that as a trend. because right now I see a lot of companies doing something with like voice, like dictation, but the extra screen space is going to help that in a great way.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, taking this, especially on a flight, this feels amazing.
For sure. I always because I travel a lot too. Like I travel every quarter, and usually I have to bring a phone and an iPad to the flight. I think I just need this one thing in my bag, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this can really still like replace like your Mac or Windows in the long term, because I don't want to work this 8 hours time frame, right?
Yeah.
But I can see how it replaces like the short, like 1 hour, 2 hour, like.
No, actually, I have a metrics.
Oh, you have a metrics.
Yeah.
What's your metrics?
Yeah. So
what's the threshold, right?
Yeah. No. It actually is simple because I always have my laptop or iPad with me. Like it's either in the car or like it's with me because if there's something, there's always something urgent. If somebody ping me, you have to check some numbers, run a query or something. You need your iPad or you need your laptop. So even like when I hang out with my friends, when I go out for like lunch, dinner, I always have my laptop standby.
On the side,
Yeah. So the matrix is how many more times I'm gonna or how many times less I'm gonna pull out my iPad or laptop. I'm gonna try to do everything here because I do think the screen is large enough to run a SQL query and look at some reports.
Wow.
So I'm gonna try to really utilize this device and try not to pull out my iPad or my laptop. So hopefully this will help me great way.
It sounds very powerful.
Yeah, then my friend and my wife will complain less, like, oh, it's actually just on his phone, that's better than behind a big screen.
From a big screen to a smaller screen.
Yeah, this is less like intrusive.
Good. And for some of our viewers who want to follow your footsteps, become a tech bro, become a director in a NASDAQ listed company, what are some of your advice for them?
Okay, so first, I don't think it's about like following my footsteps because I think I'm, I always think myself as successful anyway.
You have to fail in many regards before.
Oh, that's actually one great thing. I think Jason Huang also said the same thing. I think suffering is good. I think suffering, failure to me, I resonate with that a lot too. Like suffering, failure, it's always a blessing in disguise. Like just cherish that. I think that's super important. Don't be afraid to fail. To me, second thing is about like having a growth mindset.
Yes.
I think I achieved that in a young age too. I don't set boundaries to myself. I don't limit myself. So whatever I'm curious enough, I would go and explore. I think lastly, we talk about AI a lot.
Yep.
So as AI evolves, I think one thing that's even more important today, and it's going to be more critical, is one's value, character. I think eventually that's what differentiates every one of us from the rest. It's about ownership. It's about curiosity. It's about like your unique way of doing things, connect people. I think those are the things I can.
Because now everyone will have access to these AI tools, how you use it, and the ownership spirit is going to be the differentiating between me, you, other people.
It would be a lot harder for your manager or company to tell you what to do because with AI, you suddenly have so many different skill sets that you can explore.
It just creates so many different branches of new jobs, new positions, new roles.
Exactly. It's completely up to each individual and even more. Like in the past, I think one more lesson I can share is that as a manager or as a leader, usually we would identify a lot of great people with potential. Yes. But the thing is, we'll never tell you. Usually, we just watch and observe. And that happened to myself too. I think what I'm trying to say is if you want something, for example, if you're thinking of, how to become a director of company, how to become a manager of company, it's easy, just do it, right? If you want to become this person and just see what he does and just do it. And when you do it and perform it even better in your own way, you will get it. Like, it's not like, I'm waiting to be promoted to be this manager. Because I know some people probably complain like, I'm doing too many, I'm wearing too many hats, doing too much job. it's a good thing. Like when you're doing it, you're making it. Like
That's where opportunity comes in for like
for sure.
The turning point of their lives,
Yeah, for sure.
their life-changing milestone moments.
Whatever you want, just
yeah.
do it and make it happen.
Yep. What are some of your tips that you can give to someone who's like a senior in university, graduating, or junior, senior? How would you advise someone to explore? What are the steps that they should take?
I think.
Wait, Neil, and you have a son, right?
Yeah, I have a son.
So how do you like teach your son?
That's exactly what I was thinking about in my mind.
Yes,
like, how would I teach my son? The funny thing is, because I think a lot of people try to ask for advice whenever they get opportunity. But now thinking back, I think all the great advice is out there. You just have to listen. For example, Job Steve said, like, follow your heart. Jason Huang said, just like suffering is good. All the great advice is out there. It's just that you, like a lot of people, like even including me, we are still asking because we still don't get it. It's more about you have to understand when he said follow your heart, what does it mean? Like I think we just have to, like with the AI, I think a lot of time we just ask AI or Google this question.
What should I do? How do I get rich?
Yeah, but I think we need to ask ourselves more. We need to, like AI is about efficiency, right? AI is about like get things done fastest time. But for this type of question, I think we have to ask ourselves more often. And usually, I think the answer is with ourselves. Yeah, I think all the great advice is out there.
I think we need to just sit down and think more.
Yeah, just follow your passion. Like to me, if come down to follow your heart. Like for
Follow
me,
your heart.
it's about curiosity. Like for example, like even when with my hobby, like I could spend 0 minute. Like, but I like it. I want to know how it works. Then you spend the time, right? Like if you have that curiosity, you have that passion. For example, coding. I'm still doing it every day, just because I like it. So
I'm very happy you found this passion, and I think it's not easy for people. I think a lot of people they haven't really found or like want to find the passion because they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just think that just don't worry, calm down.
No, this brings me to my personal question, not from anyone.
All right.
How do you advise us to manage these anxieties or the thirst to be successful?
I think the question is more about how to address the anxiety and what you can do. I think that the answer is just focus on what you can do. I think if this is if you are asking this question, I think you are doing great because I think the unbox opening was like a really great experience for me. This podcast is amazing. I don't think like OPPO doesn't ask you to do this. I think it's your...
No, I mean for the podcast, for like these unboxings. No, I'm always putting like a fresh touch to content creation, especially from a brand account. I don't want to force feed my content to people.
Exactly. So
it's like making it fun to watch, like interactive. Yeah,
exactly. So I think as you're doing all this, you would feel less anxious because you are doing something you like. You are taking control of what you can do, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know, I love my job a lot. Yeah.
Likewise.
No, I mean getting to meet you is like one of the perks, and
same here.
Yeah.
I just love all the guys from OPPO. Like you guys are amazing.
Yeah, lovely. And we added like a special part. We have some of our community users. They ask some questions to some of our Finance Club members. Like,
nice.
For example, like, what's the best piece of career advice you've received that helped shape your journey? And this is from our user Mafu Sisi.
Wow, that's a great question. But first, as I said, all the advice is out there. But from my perspective, I think if there's one thing, it's ownership. Just whatever you do, whatever you like, own it. Like anything happen, don't blame it on anyone. It's your fault. It's your failure. Own it. Ownership is everything to me.
Got it. And also one more thing, which is like a question from LBN Mutu. It's specific to Foldables. It's like, what advice would you give to app developers looking to optimize their apps for foldable phones like the OPPO Find N5?
Okay, I think first, I'm one of them too. Like, I'm a developer myself. I look at all the Android technical doc all the time. I think Foldable has an immense opportunity. You have 3 screens there to play with. I just think that we have to experiment enough, and we have to value this segment of users, because like, I don't know whether any developer really look at, for example, the LTV, the lifetime value of a Foldable user. I believe it's gonna be amazing. And for this group of users, so first, I think there's enough upside for you to do it. And 2, I do think they're the one that really value product user experience. So for all the developers out there, I do think there's so much we can do. Here, there's enough opportunity. We need to do enough experiments. We need to like design a user experience that's even more premium, even better for this group of users.
Okay. This is a very interesting take because I'm not a developer, but
Right.
yeah, it's very insightful for someone who's not in this industry.
Yeah, I share with you, I was using N2, right?
Yes.
So I bought N2 because some developers actually have a special version.
N2 Fold, right?
N2 Fold, they have like, so Instagram or YouTube now, I think probably have similar feature where you can see things on the left and then read all the comments on the right. I do think this product brings so many like unique experiences and possibilities.
I don't like it when all the app just give me the whole thing and then with black sides. Like, why are we even doing this?
Exactly. So I think eventually we need all the contribution from the community, from the developer, to make this a better device.
Definitely. And that's it for this episode of On the Spot with OPPO. Thank you, Neil Ma. And I hope you enjoy your Find N5. Wait, one last question. Like, did this device make it to the top of your list?
Oh,
like, top five. No,
for sure. This is the device that I really want to like just put my iPhone in a drawer. This is that device. Yeah, I love it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, great to be here.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I hope you're excited for the launch tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Lovely.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool.
Thank you.
And that's it. Bye-bye, guys.